Hello and welcome.
Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. He drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. The Conclave Bible, Data Links.
Northstar here with another Alpha Centauri Let's Play. In this intro, play again because I think it's pretty cool. At least part of it. You know, the whole thing. Excuse me. As this guy is praying. And it's humanizing those who are often dehumanized.
Earth.
Yeah, I think that guy was supposed to be like a jihadist, or depending on where the alliances fall at a given time in history. As they say,
Complete.
I think. Depending on where the alliances fall in a given time, a freedom fighter or a jihadist. Like when the U.S. was funding them against the Soviets, we called them freedom fighters. When they fought us, they're terrorists. Not saying their methods were good, but we freaking gave them the money to do it when it served our interests, and there's a great hypocrisy there. So what's going on in the world? It is, or it's about to be, or it just was the 100th anniversary of Malcolm X's birthday. Birth, I should say. And 60 years since he was assassinated. I don't know a ton about that. I haven't looked into that particular bit of history a lot, so I don't know who was responsible. Although the U.S. government clearly had an interest in him being dead. And I know it's pretty well a proven fact at this point that the FBI assassinated Fred Hampton, who was Malcolm X's successor, in combination with the Chicago PD no-knock police raid that they went in armed and just happened to accidentally shoot Fred Hampton, who was unarmed in bed. There was a guy at the door with a shotgun just standing guard. Because the Black Panthers reasonably expected that the government would just try and kill them. And they were right. Plus, they were in a dangerous part of Chicago, so, you know, having somebody sleep in an armchair with a shotgun is what it was. But yeah, in an entirely different room, Fred Hampton was in bed with his pregnant wife, and according to his wife, who was there, they pulled him out of bed, shot him at point blank with a pistol, and I forget the side or the back of the head, execution style. The police officer was there, a Chicago police officer, and the FBI was involved in helping plan this raid. So, murder, assassination. Let's see. Moving to 105.29? Isn't that where it is currently? Yeah, this unit's moving. Weird. So let's see. I've got the Spartans here, and they have control of the monsoon jungle, including a nutrient resource um, on a river. Yeah, no, actually, I think jungles are capped in nutrients. I think it was incorrect when I said before, but the nutrient resources aren't in this nutrient resource jungles tile would have a base nutrient output of 5 with a farm 6, and if with a condenser, it actually increases out yield not by 1 or 2 or something, but by 50%, rounded, I forget, up, down. Anyways, it would be 9 nutrients for that tile with a condenser. And 10 or 11 or 12 with the soil enricher on top of that. It's an extremely valuable tile. Apparently, the AI is smart enough that it will base spam in the monsoon jungle, take advantage of the extremely fertile terrain. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to fight them for this relatively soon. Some of you might notice I'm slow doing the Human Genome Project when I have an alien artifact that I could rush it with. That's because I probably want to use this one to rush the weather paradigm, which is more important, and then save the other one for a more expensive secret project. The Planetary Transit Network is a possibility. Command Nexus wouldn't be terrible. The Maritime Control Center. I thought that was in the expansion, but I guess not. But it requires industrial automation, so no, Planetary Transit Network comes before it. So yeah, I might save it for Planetary Transit Network, which any new bases you found begin at pop level 3. One list turn all bases of population level 3 and under. So, yeah. I'll be sure there aren't so many drones that those sites 3 bases won't usually instantly starve. Still need at least one tile that produces 2 nutrients if all 3 pops are working. And 2 that produce 2 if you still end up needing to run a doctor, which you can sometimes, some factions and situations. Let's see. Colony pod, colony pod. This is about to complete. Since I haven't posted this yet, I haven't gotten comments from users, but
production complete.
Folks have ideas for naming of colonies, you can let me know. You can let me know. I'm thinking I'll probably call this UN Hydrology Agency because I'll be building it on a river. Excuse me. Could also build a base here next to the sensor array. in this flat and rainy tile here. So it could work the monolith. As opposed to 4 nutrients, 2 yields. Yeah, that might be better. Call this hydrology council and this hydrology agency. Like first forming a council and then forming an agency. Typically, you're in bureaucracy. And I'm thinking, I might call the next colony from headquarters UN Weather Agency or something like that, and that'll be where I'll plan it. And I'll put it somewhere good for building the weather paradigm. Ideally, I want substantial minerals for that. Hmm. Yeah, if I remove this xenofungus, maybe there, in the fine moist, maybe here. Hmm. Here I'd also be able to work this rocky tile eventually. Yeah, so that's probably a good idea. Good location. Just got to get some formers out there. Clear the spot. I have some formers here, which we're going to build a farm here. So I have a 2 nutrient, 1 mineral tile. Addition to this one with the sensor array. Maybe I want to build a base here, actually. Push borders in the spines a little and control this bit of coastline, as well as beyond the river near a monolith. Yeah, that might not be a terrible idea. It's a long ways for a colony pod, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Anyways, one thing at a time. Cultivate a farm there. Remove the fungus in this rolling rainy tile. Here I just finished a farm. I can start on a mine. The farm too, that's actually a soil enricher, which I don't have the tech for yet. Just to show.
Improvement already exists.
I need advanced ecological engineering, as it says. hiring for extra minerals production at the UN headquarters. Defense Command, no mineral surplus right this moment, but when it grows, it'll have one, and when the colony pod builds a colony, it'll be back to two. So that pod will eventually get done. Hmm. Yep. Let's go get a base on a river within range of the monolith. You know what? Maybe I want the weather paradigm here. I'm thinking about this because it's way far away from the Spartans. There's no possibility in a war of losing it. Eventually they get nukes, which don't have a limited range at first. Planet Busters go on missiles, which have a range of 12 times the reactor. So if they're just fission, range of 12, if fusion 24. So base way back here will be protected from some possible Spartan missile sites. If it gets that far, we wouldn't want to lose secret project to the base being destroyed. It's worth noting, on expansion you can in expansion you can build like flechette things which have a chance of shooting down missiles. Trying to find. Is there an article on satellites here? Space-based improvements. And where is drones? Wow. Trying to find something for you guys, but basically you can build defense satellites that can shoot down planet busters before they arrive at their target. That's the main defense against them. They also can destroy rival satellites. Players heavily underutilize them in their strategy, but the ability to both remove a bunch of enemy satellites and prevent planet busters from doing anything is very much worthwhile. I'm not sure if the economics quite favor that over spamming lots of planet busters in the base game here. When you combine it with flechette launchers and expansion, it's definitely cost effective, though. And an enemy will have to build a lot of planet busters to succeed the satellites, and then a lot of them will just get shot down by the flechette launchers. Meaning that to guarantee to take down certain bases, you need to hit it with multiple nukes. Anyways. It's essentially an SDI type thing. Star Wars program with the defense satellites to, provide a nuke shield. It's not actually a secret project like in some Civ games where it's a wonder. But, if you build enough of the satellites, they'll do the job. I also want a colony here on the coast in range of this energy resource, energy bonus, eventually. a base for extra support mainly. Hold on. All right. Steam message. By the way, if you're watching this, hi River. Hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, so there's a sign whether to actually plant a forest up here right now. I probably should is put my next colony here. I'll put one here to get the monolith, and then one here. Just for extra support. It's a little hard to defend all the way out here without permanently. Well, I may need a station unit here either way. Maybe I'll do this first, but yeah, either way, I'll eventually want. Yep. This is growing slow enough, so I'll probably do forest, road, because eventually in this rocky tile, I'll go back and do a mine when I have the tech. Forest road, try and get there, another road. And then hold on. Sorry, I just noticed in the corner there was a little thing. Yeah, and then clear out this rolling and rainy tile to get that out from under the fungus. Which also then, I guess since I was digging out anyways for yields, I can put a road through there. Be slower than flat tiles, but it's not worth digging out fungus just for a quicker road. All right. Excuse me. Righty. Then. Well, that's a rolling rain tile. Maybe I'll dig that out even before road. Dig this out. Road. Dig that out. Yeah. Shoot. I don't think I have time to plant the other forest because defense command will eventually grow and need this. Alright, well, get a road here, then dig out the tile from beneath the fungus. Another road. Dig another tile from beneath the fungus. Alright, then. So I'll patrol around near where I'm going to put a colony pod. Bit. Actually, that wasn't a good idea. I could have spawned a mine worm. Oh well. Oh well.
Indigenous life form.
Oh no. There's the upland waste. landmark, little actual importance. Doesn't have any extra yields or anything, and a mind worm. Alright. Bringing that alien artifact. Back to friendly territory.
Nutrient resources.
Hey. A way that's not great, because that's nutrient resources for the Spartans. Unless they can get a base out there, but whatever. Alright. Just, probably get destroyed. My worms might be damaged after that, though. Guess I should intercept them, in case they head west after destroying that scout patrol, assuming they do destroy it. Might wanting. Just noticed that down there. Yeah, I'm going to have to build more units soon. Or the Spartans will probably take advantage of my weakness. By the way, might is based on population, tech, secret projects, and cost over 40 for non-combat units. Cost over 10 for combat units. Ratio of the weapon straight to best weapon of any unit in the game. So probably happens laser units came out and some of my units are not contributing to might as much, but when I start doing recon rovers, I'll be rated better on might again. Want to keep the Spartans on my back until I'm ready to come deal with them. Of course, if I wait too long, they'll build tons of bases, and the investments will have had time to pay off in the months in jungle. So it's a tricky balance. Probably, since I have a tree of friendship, I'll want them to attack me, which will reduce their integrity, possibly, making other factions less likely to ally with them if the war doesn't end in a complete victory, so they can't have allies later. Either I can use probe teams to aggravate them, or just demand they pull units in my territory. Even if I don't have units in my territory, either way, if I aggravate them enough, they'll probably eventually declare war on me. When I'm ready. For now, I'm actually taking conciliatory tone. But yeah, the Spartans love to build planet busters. I do not need them nuking stuff. That creates serious ecological damage to the planet. Of course, destroys bases, screws the terrain up. I don't want nukes coming out under their control, especially. Even Defense Command now has more minerals because it lost a scout patrol. It's probably about to lose another. This malware moves through here. It should attack 2/3 strength, which will be a fight, even fight. I doubt I can get the drop on them, so let's see if I can't tempt them into an unwise attack. Partial strength. Oh yeah, the scout patrol. Should probably grab the monolith. That's what I'll do with it for now. The monolith upgrade. Build sensor arrays and rocky tiles. That might actually be worthwhile. It's me a while till I can build a mine there. Later. For now, just a road. I'll probably do, after I do this area out, I'll have a road there. Might extend the road one further south to connect up to World Health Organization and this road network, and then 1, 2, 3, boom. Or maybe go as far as the sensor array. 1, 2. And try and move on this tile, yeah. Start a farm mine combination. Yeah, whatever. Probably should have actually, now I think about it, done the artifact first. If it failed to move, I wouldn't have wanted to leave it. And oh well. Making mistakes, but haven't gotten punished for them yet, thankfully.
Turn complete.
One thing worth noting, your units are hidden in Xenofungus. Alien ones are too, but can be used to sneak, say, into Spartan territory if they don't sense arrays. It's not likely to have a very complete network of those. Get close to their base if I wanted to tempt them into attacking me and already be in their territory without them knowing. It'd be a surprise attack, which gives a combat bonus, but hurts your integrity. Your reputation, that is. But still mean they be less prepared. Actually, in the books, there's a whole thing where the Hive has units hiding in the Xenofungus to spy on other factions without them knowing that the Hive even exists on the planet for a while. The books to go with this game. Alright. These still haven't moved. Maybe they have and I just can't see them. Not sure if there's a defense bonus from... Yeah, they probably just... Oh, they're still there. Didn't give me a preview of the combat odds. Oh well. Disciplined Scout Patrol. Planetary Trust. I mean, it's going to do hydrology agency as well. I guess this works. It's a theme. UN Planetary Trust. Scout Patrolman, a former. Because I really do need knowing where the Spartans have such good terrain. Be a little more risk-taking with growth quickly. Deformers, maybe I'll do the weather paradigm. Not entirely sure I can one-turn it with alien artifact, but maybe. Guess I'll keep exploring a little. Maybe I'll find another pod.
Turn complete.
Ah, there's a pod. Darn it.
Production complete.
What just happened? I am... Most likely going to want one more defense contract. Conscious than before. My worm's taking down 2 of my scout patrols now. At least the calling pod gets done faster now.
Terraform complete.
Just finished the farm. There. Maybe I should build a base here on this fine area tile. Push my borders. Be able to utilize the forests and rolling moist tile. The UN headquarters base there.
Pod recovered.
A hydrology pod that made a circular river because there was no way for it to feed out to the coast anywhere. Probably means this terrain is higher to the east. Well, if I raise the terrain at some point, the river would, from its origin tile here, end up drained to the sea.
Turn complete.
A defense command. It's only supporting one unit. I think I'm gonna have this former swap their support to defense command. So here, go here, and then I guess actually try and get back onto the get me onto this rolling rain tile, or now World Health Organization is growing faster. That's where I should cut the xenofungus back. Boom, boom. Yeah, and try and extend that road. When did this base decide that was a good idea? Rather have nutrients. Order that for when the mine's done. Should have kept a closer eye on UNHQ. They have a drone now. Everything after third pop is drones on librarian difficulty. It's after second on the next highest, and it's after the first pop on transcend.
Quest confirmation.
Couple energy credits and taking one mineral faster. Next breakthrough in 0 years. What? Shouldn't I have just finished the tech? That's weird. That is weird. Doing alright for time here.
Production complete.
Scientific theories are judged by the coherence they lend to our natural experience and the simplicity with which they do so. The grand principle of the heavens balances on the razor's edge of truth. Commissioner Pravin Lal, A History of Science.
Yep. I've actually taken classes in the history of science. It's worth noting, one of the cool things about this game is all the leaders, especially in the original, are intellectuals to some degree. Philosophers, people who expand human understanding of the world and philosophy. Commissioner Prevalon is particularly intellectual, perhaps second only to the university's leader. Marion Godwinson does a lot of stuff in psychology, though. Her background was she was a psychologist. The colonists and the chaplain, sorry. The colonists must create new tools in the wreckage they need to survive and expand. Early inquiries into applied physics emphasize this adaptation of existing technology for a new environment. Nice, and I can do ethical calculus now. For democratic authority in Children's Creche. Once I get the ability to do planned economics on top of that, which I believe let's see. Took accumulate 5, so I did not have any tech go to waste there. 2131. I have 7 tech per turn. That's weird. Looks like I lost 2. Maybe it was 106 before. Maybe I misread. I thought that's 108. Yep, with planetary networks, I can grab planned. Then it'll be easy to boom my population, expand it quickly. Get bases up to size 4 quick, although with bureaucracy later, I'll only be able to keep bases size 3 more often unless I have enough food to run to hunters. Put this here because it would be worse to lose a colony pod. I should say here, actually. Worse to lose a colony pod than to lose a former. Just counting tiles. 1, 2. I'd like to put a road through this rolling moist tile. Take my way to another base location. Heck, with the spawns right now, I probably need a another sensor array. Let's get to work.
Terraform complete.
No particular hurry to get this farm. Well, actually, a farm mine here would benefit base there. So, yeah, do want it soon. Since it produces more minerals than this one. Alright, still, World Health Organization could use more minerals. Support from here. Saves me a mineral turn. Beat Genome Project. It's a little less time now. And I got this unit. Might get destroyed. There. I was wrong about taking this tile out right away. it's our priority because World Health Organization isn't going to be able to run enough pops for that. Well, no, that's not true. Defense Command. 12 turns, still any chance they could. Ah, bloody A. This is. I'm being dumb. Hmm.
Pod recovered.
Another alien artifact. Hmm. Apologize. This is a little slow at times. With my long COVID, I don't always think the most clearly or quickly. Um, a disease that the government, of course, appears singularly uninterested
Turn complete.
in trying to cure quickly. In fact, medical research funding is being cut in half. But what do you expect? Greedy pricks who rule the United States as a quote democracy, but it's not. It's billionaire donations that buy things, and that goes to the heart of some of my political philosophy here. Can't have democracy and capitalism. The two are incompatible because you'll get enormous concentrations of wealth at the top, and those people with enormous wealth will inevitably buy the politicians. We've seen that happen again and again throughout the world. It's not some unique thing that it's just chance. No, it was the system led to these kind of outcomes. It's not like we live in a cursed timeline. No, it's inherent to capitalism. The thing cursed about it is that people are obsessed
Insufficient energy.
with capitalism and thought because the Soviet Union destroyed itself, that means socialism is doomed. In fact, the Soviet Union had a very high long-term GDP growth rate, GDP per capita, I should say. The population grows super quickly because Russia is a very cold country, and there wasn't a lot of surplus food production. Which, if this game's commentary is any hint of things, you actually should have more population growth under socialism. I planned economics, but you still have to have the surplus food for it to happen, for population to grow. The Soviet Union's GDP per capita long term, as in if you look at 5-year periods, the GDP growth rate over each 5-year period, and GDP per capita, you find it's consistently until the end of the Bretton Woods economic system, global banking system that Nixon unilaterally and illegally tore up in like 71, 72. Second highest in the world, behind France, actually, which people underestimate because they had 30 years of economic stagnation after the end of Bretton Woods. So they went from economic boom from the end of World War II, 1945, to around 1975. And then the end of Bretton Woods, which screwed over France by decimating their foreign currency reserves, making the US dollar. They had a lot of dollars in reserve, made those reserves pretty worthless, and created a budgetary crunch for the French government, which led to much slower economic growth because they had to raise taxes and be less aggressive with investments, with government spending and such, or run larger deficits instead of pulling on those reserves, which can be inflationary and hurt economic growth. The fact of the matter is the U.S. screwed over the French economy, screwed over the Soviet economy with the end of Bretton Woods, but until then, the Soviet economy, all the economists are saying it's not a matter of if, but when the Soviet Union eclipses the U.S. economy. And even after, it was still growing faster than America's economy. So, long-term growth rate. You can't look at yearly average growth rates, as some people do. Because let's say you have an economy that doubles in size 1 year and then loses half its value the next. So plus 100% growth rate 1 year, minus 50% the next. If you looked at average growth rates, annual average, you would assume that the economy had grown 25% a year. Actually, the two-year growth rate is 0% because the economy was the same size at the end of 2 years as it was at the beginning period. And capitalist countries are subject to boom-bust cycles. Every 4 to 7 years, there's a crash. So there'll be a boom midway between the busts, so you'll get a bust, then like 3-4 years later there'll be an economic boom, then 3 or 4 more years later there'll be a bust, over and over and over. The statistics show this is an immutable law of economics. It doesn't always happen exactly 4 to 7 years, but it averages every 4 to 7 years, and this boom bust cycle, known as the business cycle, has been going on for over 150 years now in the capitalist economies of the world. And so their economic growth rates look much higher than they actually are if you're not accounting for the periods of economic slowdowns by looking at long-term GDP growth. And these crashes are inevitable. It's not because politicians fuck something up. People being stupid and not educated in the business cycle and its existence even, they always look for some proximate cause. Oh, this politician screwed up the economy. And sometimes politicians did make a mistake that caused that bust that was going to happen anyways to happen sooner. Sometimes they intentionally cause a crash to happen earlier. Like, it's been argued that Trump is intentionally seeking an economic crash in the U.S. so he can take advantage of it by positioning himself to benefit from a crash. There's ways to do that, like setting up stocks to short sell, and then causing the crash that he already positioned himself to get rich off of. That's something you can do, and something the ruling class has probably done before, but Trump is just not as good at hiding it. Ooh, a pod. Wait, why did that Oh, because they, yeah, moved one. But here, another pod. Um, need the artifact to lead the way because I cannot afford to. If it fails, oh wait, on rivers you never fail move. What am I saying? Well, if there's a line worm, it could fail. But anyways, um, hmm. What if I built? Yeah, I could build a base here on the coast. That's probably more valuable in inland. There's less. Uh, shoot. Take a chance. Well, base here, but the next one will probably be thinking here, just south that scout patrol. UN civil rights. Sure. It's a fine name for a base. An important thing, civil rights, of course, always take a backseat to profits under capitalism, which is one more reason it needs to go. Another scout patrol because I'm already being not doing some stuff around the fungus just because I can't protect the farmers all the time. Should protect that. Darn it. The alien artifact because it's more important to protect the alien artifact than even the base. It's that valuable. I want to get those farm mined done quickly so you more health organization can produce more minerals.
Turn complete. Insufficient energy. Production complete.
All right. I'm going to save here, but before I exit, just want to quickly double check I'm not mistaken about. Boom.
Project initiated.
Yeah, it doesn't one turn that by any means.
Please don't
All right.
go. The drones need you.
I hope you folks enjoyed that. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star and lead you home. Until next time, this Northstar. Adieu. Best luck.